Welcome, everybody. I'm Jackie Mori. Welcome to today's episode of the 21st Century Legacy Letters Show. I want to welcome everyone who is here with us live. And I wanted to find out if you haven't already, please type in your name and let us know where you are hanging out from. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Aside from typing in your name, as usual, we want to cultivate an attitude of gratitude and a heart posture of gratefulness. So if you don't mind typing in the chat room what you're grateful for, it could be somebody you're grateful for or something that happened that you're grateful for. So let me interact with you live in the chat room. Welcome, Dr. Becky. Greetings and blessings to Jackie, Jim, and Len from Gary and Becky in Arizona. Welcome, Dr. Becky. Welcome, Gary. Greetings and blessings to you as well. And then Mary said, Jackie, I'm thankful for a good turnout at my presentation and a wonderful sister friend to help me. Wow, I am so thankful that that's what happened. We were praying for you, Mary, and so I'm so glad that it turned out really well. Congratulations. And then Carmen is here. Carmen is in the house. Welcome, Carmen. And Carmen is grateful for being an American. Isn't that the truth? I am grateful that I was born in San Diego and I'm a U.S. citizen. So I am so grateful for being a U.S. citizen, an American as well, Carmen. Good for you. Okay, just to explain to those who are tuning in live that haven't been on this show before, right now, we are in the green room. What does that mean? Well, we haven't started the interview yet. We're going to be interacting live in the green room because it helps my guest to kind of get warmed up, kind of get prime the pump, so to speak. And so during the green room, we're able to interact with you live. During the interview, I'll be focused solely on my guest, my featured guest, and he will be answering my questions. And then after the interview, you can ask my guest your questions. We had some questions that came in through the survey. When you registered through Webinar Jam, we had a survey and there were some questions that came in. And so after that, after we have the interview, we'll have the live Q&A. I'm going to give you a cool bonus from my featured guest today, Len Di Giovanni, and we're going to announce the winners of the Epic contest. So please stay tuned for that. Stay with us until the very end because the prizes from last week here of Jeffrey H. Watts are epic indeed. So anyway, let's see here. As usual, I want to quote Seth Godin. He says, leadership is the art of giving people a platform for speaking. So, excuse me, the art of giving people a platform for spreading ideas that work. So if you don't mind, please sharing this broadcast. Right now we're in the green room, but there's still time before the interview to share this broadcast with your friends on Facebook and Twitter. You'll find at the bottom right of your screen a Facebook icon and a Twitter icon. So please share this broadcast, this episode with Len Di Giovanni to your Facebook friends and to your Twitter followers, all right? Because we want to give, because I believe you're leaders and you want to give your friends an opportunity to hear ideas that work. We're giving Len today the platform for spreading his ideas that work. They're proven ideas. So please, please share. And let me know once you've shared, just type in the chat room, shared. Just let me know you've shared it. And I am so, so grateful for you sharing it. Okay, now I want to also share that last week I started the Pay It Forward challenge and I thought about what would be a good challenge. And I wrote down, write an email or text someone or write somebody. It's very rare that we get handwritten letters these days. So it's so special when you get a handwritten letter, right? So do your best to maybe cultivate that. Write or email or text someone you haven't connected with in a while and encourage and affirm them. Well, I want to share with you some of the results of that challenge, and I'm going to go to my Facebook. I'm going to go in my Facebook community and find out what they did because there were some really cool stories about what happened, right? So I'm going to go to that page right now, and I'm going to read to you some of the things that happened. Okay. Tanisha messaged two friends that she hadn't spoken to in a while, and they all live in different states, and they never met each other in person. So they've been accountability partners for 7 months, and then she wanted to encourage and affirm them. So she took up the challenge. So Tanisha took up the Pay It Forward challenge. Who else? Michael Mastriani. He said, I called my cousin in St. Augustine who has been going through a tough time. Her husband had a major stroke last year that severely affected his speech, mobility, walking, eating, etc. It was too much for one person to be his caretaker. So last week, he reached out and encouraged that cousin of his. That's awesome. Okay, and then let's see here. Um, for me personally, here's what happened to me. I'm going to minimize my, I was reading from the screen. Oh, I want to first of all welcome my guest, Len. Len, are you in the house right now? Can you hear me, Len? Just nod your head. Yes, you can hear me, or not yet, or well, Len I think is still working out the bugs in his um, on his screen, I think the webcam. So Len, when you're ready, just give me a thumbs up. If you can hear me, Len, just give me a thumbs up, and just let me know if you're ready to go. Okay. And then what else? So for me, here's what happened. I text messaged three people that morning before the show because every Wednesday we're going to have a new challenge, right? A new Pay It Forward challenge. And so I text messaged three friends that I hadn't connected with in months, some of them years. And what happened was a few minutes before the show, I looked at my phone and there were three text messages. So I text messaged three friends and they immediately text messaged back, and they said they want to get together. So it's amazing what happens when you affirm somebody, you encourage somebody, you just reach out and connect with them. Let them know you're thinking about them, right? So what happened was I was able to get text messages from them, and I promised that we would set a time to have coffee together because we are here to connect with each other. We are wired for connection. We are wired for interaction. We were not meant to be isolated, right? Okay, let me thank Becky. Thank you, Becky, Dr. Becky, for sharing on Facebook and Twitter. Fantastic. Mary, thank you for sharing. Fantastic. Awesome. Len, you can't hear? Okay. Okay, hang on a second. Let me see here. Let me see if I can okay, hang on. Let me see something. I want to make sure that let's see. I don't know video. I'm making sure that my guest is here in the house, but I can't hear him yet. So let me see what we can do. Just a moment, please. So Len, I'm gonna call you. I'll call you, and then it's gonna be a live phone call, folks. So I apologize, but I want to make sure that you hear and watch Len Di Giovanni because he is not just a leader among leaders, but he's also, as my friend Dr. Becky put it, a sage. Len Di Giovanni is a sage. So let me call Len right now. Hi, is your I see you on the screen. I mean, you're here in the room live, but I can't hear you. If you click on the screen and then scroll up, your microphone is the second icon from the left. Just turn it on. Oh, okay. That it's right. It's muted right now. So click it again. It will unmute you. Okay. Then go to the gear again and then see if your speakers, what speakers you're using. Apologize, folks. Just hang in with us. Hang tight with us here. Not yet. I can hear you on. I can hear you on. Let me make sure my speakers are working here. Let me mute you from my phone and then see if you can talk through your microphone. No, I can't. I can't. No, I can't hear you yet. Not yet. Not yet. Interesting. So I can't hear you yet, Len, but let's see here. The microphone that you have, did you if you go to your control panel and settings, maybe you can look at the microphone. Apologize, folks. We're having some tech issues here. And in the meantime, I want to share. Did you check your microphone, sir? Is it the correct microphone that you want on your control panel? It is? Oh, yeah, there you go. You're not muted. Yeah, you're not muted on the screen. It's just that your microphone isn't for whatever reason not picking up. Did you were you on a lapel mic or maybe another microphone before you logged on or something, Lynn? Perhaps you have two microphones and maybe it's conflicting. So anyway, folks, let me just do the poll right now because I have a poll that I would love for you to answer. And here it is. The question is, do you currently have a mentor in whatever area that you believe you need one? So please fill in your answer. Just yes, I do have a mentor. No, I don't, not yet, but I've reached out to someone recently asking this person to become my mentor. And I'm on the phone live with my featured guest. And 100% so far say, I do. Wonderful. And it's okay if you don't. Um, and if you haven't even reached out, just be honest. This is, I will not know your answers because Webinar Jam has anonymous polls. This is so cool about Webinar Jam. Your answers are very confidential, private. It's between you and yourself. And I will not know who answered yes, who answered no, who answered I don't know. Len, how you doing there, sir? Uh, Len, I can't hear you on your phone either. I think you're muted on your phone as well. But okay. So awesome. Go ahead, sir. That's it. That correct. Interesting. So on the settings, what microphone does it say? Okay. What about microphone? It's the second box. After the camera, it's the second box. What does it say? What does it say on the second box? Okay, got it. So on the right of that second box, there's an arrow. Can you click on that and show me if there are any choices, please? Or tell me if there, yeah, the second box. Oh, okay. What if you try default? Maybe try that one. Click that and then save at the blue button at the bottom after you do that, and then let's see what happens. Let me mute you here and then, okay, go ahead and speak, sir. No, I can't hear you yet. No, not yet, not yet. Uh-oh. Um, no, I can't hear you yet. I can see you. I mean, I'll put you on the big screen. Folks, I'm going to put Len on the big screen so you know what Len looks like. There's Len. He's trying to figure out. There you go, Len. You're on the big screen and Len's microphone is not working. So wonder why. So Len, can you, Len, can you hear me inside the webinar room on your computer? Right, I can't hear you. You can hear me. Right, right, right. Well, I want the audience to hear you for sure. So let's see here. Um, let me think. Let me think what to do. What to do. Um, your microphone is from your Logitech camera. So in other words, your camera is the same as is also a microphone as well. It picks up your voice on your computer. So let's say, for example, you Skype or you go on an online conversation, is your camera and your microphone the same? Where is your microphone? Um, is it like on top of your screen, or how far away is your microphone? Or do you have a lapel microphone? Got it. Got it. Okay. So on your control panel, what is turned on right now? If you go to control panel and go to your sounds, go to microphone, what is turned on right now? Because that's what we want. Okay, folks, I'm going to do the second poll while we're doing this. So 100% of you have a mentor in the area that you believe you need one. Awesome. So let's redo the poll. Let's do the second poll. For those who need a mentor in other areas, okay, you have a mentor in one area, okay, that you need one, but perhaps you need a mentor in another area. So let's see if you can answer this question. Let's see here. Okay. So what's stopping you from having a mentor in every single area of your life, whether it's your marriage, your finances, your business, your, let's see here, what else? Maybe your online business or whatever it is. Maybe your health. Maybe it's your relationships. So what's stopping you from having a mentor in every area of your life that you'd like to see real transformation in? And again, this is an anonymous poll. Nobody's going to know who answered what. Okay. All right. So please let us know. And welcome, Victoria. Welcome, Beth. It's good to be with you. By the way, at the end, you'll get a chance. Hopefully we get the microphone of Len working and we'll be able to hear from Len. Len, what does it say? Is the camera that's on your control panel that's on right now? Is it the Logitech? I can't hear you on the phone. It is. So, oh, camera? So the camera is the microphone too, huh? Got it. Got it. Got it. So does it show any other microphones when you click on the control panel? Does it show any other microphones that are available in your computer system on control panel? You can faintly hear him. Okay, yeah, I can actually hold the phone right there and you can hear Len. That'd be kind of interesting to say that again. Look for sounds and then look for the microphone, and then you'll have a list of microphones that are listed on the in the control panel. So okay, so let's see here. Speakers, speak. Okay, Real Tech, got it. So Real Tech is your camera and your microphone. That's what's showing up on microphone. Oh, and it's checked right now. Right. Do you have you done Skype through this computer? And if so, did you have a microphone, an external microphone that you used, Len, or not? And all the Skype conversations you've had are through just got it, got it, got it, got it. Let's see here. Would it be okay to ask you maybe to just maybe because it's not working right now. Because Real Tech to me is I guess it's your camera. Can you go to your go to your video to the camera, and maybe there's a way to set the camera to on as far as the microphone, because you're saying Real Tech is also your microphone. Thank you, Dr. Becky, for praying Len in. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. I want to share with you all the Pay It Forward challenge for this coming week while we are here. That way, once we get Len in, let me share the Pay It Forward challenge for next week. This is for August 24 today, starting today up to August 30th. And I'm going to post the meme on Facebook as well. So this is the Pay It Forward challenge. Find a quote online, share this with your coach, your parent, mentor, or leader. Let them know how you feel about them because they embody this quote. So just pick a quote online and then share that either by email or private message on Facebook or however you want to share it. And share this with your coach or your parent, if your parent is a parent or parents, if they're still alive. your mentor or your leader, and let them know how you feel about them because they embody this quote. So that is the Pay It Forward challenge for this week. And I'm going to post the meme inside our Facebook community, and please share your stories with us. Okay. How are you doing there, sir? Okay. What is the video? Are you on the video, sir? The control panel? Oh, okay. If you click on, right. So when you click on the camera, if you click on real tech on the video, what does it say? Is there like a settings to it? Got it. Oh yeah, I see that what it's doing to you. Yeah. Right, right, right. Okay. Would it be okay, sir, if you log out and then maybe do one more restart, like a reboot of the computer, and then come in again, sir? Because I'm not sure if there's some how do you call it, conflicts, internal conflicts that are occurring right now. So if that's okay, because we worked it out where now I can see you. There's Len right there. Hello. You're on the big screen right now. So your camera is working. It's just the microphone that's not working right now. Oh, no, no, no. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. Okay. So, folks, while we are waiting for Len to come in, I want to share. I'm just going to announce the winners of the Epic contest. Okay. Because I want to respect your time. So that after the interview, we'll do the question and answer. Okay. So here are the Epic contest winners, right? This was courtesy of Jeffrey H. Watts, who was my featured guest last week. And he offered to really make the show so engaging, and he wanted to bless everyone because he says, I'm blessed to be a blessing, right? So here are the full disclosure. What happened was, we're not sure. I reached out to everyone who was in the show that I believe shared the show, and I reached out individually to you all to let me know if you are aware whether or not your friends or family were online or at least watched the replay, even if they weren't in live. So full disclosure, here's what happened. I reached out, and some of you didn't know the email addresses, and others weren't sure, and so I couldn't verify. So what I did was I put your names in a container, and so I wrote down your names, and then I picked the four, and then so the top four, I'm going to announce the winners. Okay, so there were four winners. I picked four, and then there were and there were two more that I felt that I wanted to bless. So I reached out to Jeffrey Watts this morning, and I said, Jeffrey, there are two more folks that I really think should get prizes. And what can we do? And if you can't help me or whatever, that's totally fine. He emailed me right back, and he said, I want to bless those two more people with a physical copy of Life's Golden Ticket. Okay, so I want to announce the winners. All right, the first prize, 2 tickets to High Performance Academy, 2 physical copies of Life's Golden Ticket, and 1 30-minute strategy session with me. It doesn't have to be about a book. It can be about anything. And the winner of the first prize, okay, full disclosure, right? I already told you what we did because we weren't sure about who attended and whose emails were. Anyway, first prize goes to Dr. Becky Slaybaugh. Congratulations, Dr. Becky. You win 2 tickets to the High Performance Academy, and you don't have to go to the one in September, which is, I believe, I'm looking at my calendar over there, September 20, I believe it's 20, 27, 28, 29, 30th. You can go to the one in April, and I'm hoping to go to that one as well. So maybe we'll meet each other in person in April, Lord willing, right? And then, so Dr. Becky, congratulations. Now, second prize, 2 tickets to High Performance Academy and 1 physical copy of Life's Golden Ticket. Okay. And the winner of that second prize is Tanisha Williams. So Tanisha, congratulations. You're going to get your high performance ticket. So what I need for you all to do is to private message me with your physical mailing address because I'm going to send that to Jeffrey, and he's going to send those tickets and the physical copies of the books to you. So congratulations, Tanisha. Third prize, and what is third prize? Third prize, lifetime access to Jackie's Turbocharge Your Bestseller online course, and one physical copy of the book, Life's Golden Ticket. And the winner of that is Dr. Jessica Vera. Congratulations, Dr. Jessica. All righty. And then fourth prize, one physical copy of Life's Golden Ticket. And the winner of the fourth prize is Mary Schlumberger. Congratulations, Mary. Fantastic. So again, private message me your mailing address. That way I can forward that to Jeffrey, and then you can receive your tickets as well as instructions on how to get the, get the book instructions on how to get your tickets online, because it's going to be online, and then he can mail you your physical copy of the book, Life's Golden Ticket. And the two others who really promoted last week's episode and whom I really wanted to bless, and Jeffrey said, yes, let's give them another copy. Let's give them their copy of Life's Golden Ticket. Steve Garvin, congratulations. You get one physical copy of Life's Golden Ticket. So please PM me your mailing address. And last but not least, Sonia Chastain Atkins. Congratulations, Sonia. And again, PM me your mailing address, and we'll get that copy of the book to you. Len, how are you doing? Len is back here. Let me see. Can I hear you? No, not yet. Oh, you know what? Can you try? Can you try maybe increasing the volume? Have you tried increasing the volume of your output? So your microphone will have an input output. Try maybe increasing the volume of both your input and your output. Let me see what happens there. Dr. Becky says, congratulations and blessings to you all. Awesome. And Dr. Becky says, thank you. Wonderful. Beth says, just use your phone and say what he says into your mic. I know, right? You know, Len is in the house. I mean, it's just probably one thing that there's Len right there. Okay, Len. All right. Just let me know how you're doing there. And okay. So why do I believe you're here? I want to affirm you, the live and the replay audience. Why do I believe you're here? Well, I believe that you are learners. You are a learner. You want to become a better leader, each one of you. And you want to make a difference in people's lives. You want to live a life of significance. So that's why I believe you're here, tuning in live and also on the replay of the 21st Century Legacy Letter Show. I also believe that you want to gain life lessons, keys, strategies to become more successful. And I also believe you want to fulfill your full destiny. You know, there's a study that was done by somebody, I can't remember what school it was. I think it was Stanford. And he did a study and found out that only 20% of people believe that they ever reach their full destiny. And 80%, very honest, very, very authentic. 80% said that they didn't believe that they reached their full destiny. So that's what I want for you is we want to equip you. We want to inspire you. We want to motivate you. We want to give you some life hacks, strategies, some principles and lessons, life lessons, these hard-earned lessons that my featured guests have gained through trials, through the sorrows of life, through really the challenges and experiences that they've gone through. And they're delivering these to you on a silver platter, so to speak, so that you can live a life of significance and reach your full destiny and leave your legendary legacy, okay? So last week we had Jeffrey H. Watts. This week we have Len Di Giovanni. Next week we have Pete Cafarcio. And the week after that we have Greg Corhan. And as I've said before, I quoted, and I love to quote billionaire Warren Buffett. He says, the more you learn, the more you earn. Okay, so the more you're learning, the more you're really learning this. And learning is not just with the Greek mindset of just putting in more information, because that's the Greek mindset. Have a Hebrew mindset where they actually embody and they practice and immediately implement and take action on the things that they are learning, right? So learn for me means immediate implementation, immediate action, immediately practicing. Like, for example, pay it forward, right? I would love for you to participate in the Pay It Forward challenge for this week. I would love for you to find a quote and share it with a leader, right? Or your parent or your coach or your mentor or someone who has inspired you, someone that you look to as a leader, whether you have met them in person or not, even if there's somebody you follow maybe on YouTube or something like that. You can easily find on their webpage a way to contact them or at least send them a message, right? So just do that and pay it forward. And I would really love for you to do that. Okay, so let's see how Len is doing. Len, how are you doing, sir? Did you nothing yet? Can you hear me from where I am? Can you hear me from? Oh, you can hear me. Okay, so your speakers are fine. Your what about your? Did you check your microphone input and output, sir? I'm not on the phone with you, so I don't. I can hear your answer. Okay, you'll call me. Okay, so Len is gonna call me and. Okay, so we're gonna start in a few moments here. I hope I'm gonna. You know what? We'll just use the phone. We'll just use the phone. I'm gonna call Len right now, and then I'm going to just. There we go. It's ringing. Can you hear that? It's ringing. Hi. So the input and output of your microphone, did it show anything, sir? The input and output of your microphone, what did it show, sir? Oh, you do? Very interesting. There must be, and your speakers are attached to, I mean, I guess your speakers won't really make a difference, but so it's an internal microphone we're using, or is it an external microphone? Oh, got it. Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. This is the this is the first time it's never worked. Isn't that interesting, folks? So it's obvious that there's some kind of warfare going on. So here's what we're gonna do. Then I'm gonna put you on speaker. Oh, actually, let's see. Where's my? Can you speak, please? I want to know where my speaker is. Can you talk, please, on the phone, Len? Can you say something on the phone? Yeah, I'm wondering where my. Oh, it's right here. Oh, okay, everyone, I'm gonna put Len. Okay, can you hear Len? Go ahead and speak, Len.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, folks,
Can you hear me?
can you? I can hear you. Can you hear that, folks, on the microphone? Just say yes. That way we can start the broadcast, and I'll put Len on the big screen, and we'll do it that way. Obviously, there's warfare going on. Okay. Can you hear? Can you hear Len? Go ahead and speak, Len. Let me put Len on the big screen. And Len, how about greet everybody?
Hey, how are you? I have a quote for you. Good counsel is the best legacy a father can leave his child. Can you hear that?
Yeah, can you hear Len, everybody? And I have you on maximum, so okay, I'm gonna have to yeah, they can hear you. Awesome, Len. They can hear you. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna have to hold the phone like this, folks, and there we go. And I'm gonna put it right there. Okay, awesome. So Dr. Becky says yes, Mary says yes. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Whoa, this is improvisation. So folks, this is what you do when you have tech difficulties. You just improvise. And we're gonna do what I was hoping that we wouldn't have to do, but thank you for your suggestion, Beth, because that's what I was going to do as a last resort. So go ahead, Len, and I want to make sure that. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, so you'll want to speak into the phone because you don't your obviously your microphone's not working. So just make sure that you focus on the. Oh, thank you, Dr. Becky. We're gonna start the show now. Right? Ready, sir?
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I believe everybody can hear you.
I'll try to keep my voice elevated.
Awesome. Okay, and you're speaking into the phone. Okay, awesome. Great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to introduce myself, and I'm going to introduce what's happening, and I'm going to introduce you. And I'm going to introduce the legacy word by maybe when I'm introducing and everything, I'm going to put the phone, I'm going to put it first down, and then when I introduce you, Len, I'm going to put the phone close to the my microphone. Okay, sound good, sir? Yes. Okay. Awesome. All right. Okay, I'm going to count 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody. I'm Jackie Mori. I am a multiple #1 international best-selling author, and I'm your web TV host of the 21st Century Legacy Letters Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My featured guest today is Len Di Giovanni, who chairs a CEO peer group. But before we dive into the legacy word for this episode and this epic interview with Len, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors. Welcome back. We are now to the segment where I get to share the legacy word for the show. Today's legacy word is the word leadership. Now, what does leadership mean? What is a leader? Well, Webster's dictionary defines leadership as the power or ability to lead other people, right? Okay, well, I found a better definition, not of the word leadership, but of the word leader, and it's from Business News Daily. And here is what they say. Leaders are people who know how to achieve goals and inspire people along the way. I found that definition of a leader as really compelling. So, leaders are people who know how to achieve goals and inspire people along the way. Well, I cannot be more excited about my interview today because it is with Len Di Giovanni, who is a leader among leaders. Let me tell you a little bit about Len Di Giovanni. Len is a trusted business advisor. He chairs a CEO peer group, and he's the founder of Impact Coaching. Len brings 45 years of success directing multifaceted business units with a unique blend of skills and a proven record of achieving results. Len's successful servant leadership approach to business stems from his experience as an entrepreneur and in various executive leadership positions. He has been involved in the product creation and marketing of emerging solutions within the consumer products, hardware, aerospace, direct marketing, floor covering, import, and multi level marketing industries. Len believes in community outreach and service, voluntarily serving on numerous corporate boards. After graduating college, Len served in the United States Army as first lieutenant in the Vietnam War, receiving 2 Bronze Stars for his exceptional service. Len Di Giovanni is a Christ follower, a husband, a father, grandfather, and entrepreneur. Len and his wife Sue live in Pleasanton, California. Having raised 4 children, they are now actively participating and speaking into the lives of their 8 grandchildren. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome to the 21st Century Legacy Letters Show, Len Di Giovanni. Len, how are you doing today?
Awesome, Jackie. How are you?
Oh, can you say that again, sir? How are you doing, Len?
I'm doing terrific. How are you today?
I'm doing really well, Len. Len, who
Yeah.
would you like to dedicate this legacy show to, please?
Well, of course, I'd like to dedicate it to my family, right? My wife Sue, my 4 children, and my 8 grandchildren. And I, um, constantly, my wife and I are speaking into their lives. So my legacy is also tied to my wife's legacy. So I wish she was here, actually.
Indeed, indeed. Well, I would love for you to be my featured guest again with Sue next time, the both of you being on the show. Wow. Well, then, yes. Well, then, could you take a minute and fill in some of the gaps in that intro and just share a glimpse into your personal life, please?
Well, as you mentioned, I consider myself a Christ follower, a husband, a father, a grandfather, an entrepreneur, and a CEO coach. And what guides my life is my relationship with Christ and what He's called me to do in whatever season of life He has me in. So my life is, my ultimate coach is Him. I do have other other coaches, but my ultimate coach is the Holy Spirit. Yes.
Nice. Very, very cool. Wow. Well, Len, thank you so much for being with me on this show. And thank you for letting us know a little bit about who you are in your personal life as well. Len, here's my first question. Would you take a couple of minutes to share a young adult story or an encounter or a milestone that impacted your life and or your character, please?
Sure. And I have to. I mean, there are many encounters, right? And I think probably the most powerful one was the encounter that I had with my dad.
Mm,
And he was an entrepreneur. I caught the entrepreneur bug from him, and he taught me the value of hard work. He taught me the value of communication. He taught me the value of networking with people, how to handle money. And he was a restaurant owner. He had 3 Italian restaurants in Washington D.C. And since age 9, he would take me down there to bus tables or sweep the floors or something, to the point where I was opening and closing restaurants while I was in college. But I had an opportunity because of him and because of his example and the environment that he created in the restaurants to meet future presidents and met senators, congressmen, and probably one of the most interesting um, encounters was an encounter with a gentleman by the name of Sergeant Shriver in the early '60s, who founded the Peace Corps. He actually would bring in 30, 40, 45 people a few times a week for lunch to take over our upstairs dining room on Capitol Hill. And the Peace Corps was actually founded in my dad's restaurant. That's where they brainstormed the whole concept of the Peace Corps and put the whole thing together. So
wow.
it was just great to kind of see all that unfolding.
Mm,
Um, and my dad was a jack of all trades. He was a handyman. He got me involved in the soapbox derby when I was age 11. I was in the soapbox derby for 5 years, and we built cars together. So that was
mm.
down in our garage. That was a great experience for me. Not only working with him, but also the thrill of actually racing something that you built.
Yes.
Quite a unique experience for a young kid, right?
Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you. That's so powerful, then, because it's true how amazing and how deep the impact of a dad is into our lives. And so, how wonderful and how rich that you can remember and share and recall those experiences, those memories that you shared with your dad, and how they were milestones and they were turning points and deeply impacted your life and your character. Thank you for sharing that, Len.
Mm. Yep.
Mm.
Well, I hope I have the same impact on my kids and grandkids.
I believe you do. I believe you do. Wow. Well, then, what are maybe, could you, I know you're a grandfather and a father. Would you be open to sharing maybe three parenting and grandparenting life lessons that you can share with us? And just tell us a story about each of those three lessons, please.
Sure. I think that uh, one of the first things that really occurred to Sue and I, particularly after my conversion experience, was that there's a proverb that says, "Raise up a child in the way they should go, and they'll never depart from it." And what we understood by that scripture was that we were to be students of our children and really study them and understanding their gifts and their talents and move them in that direction, right? Not move them somewhere where they had no interest in being. I know so many parents live their lives vicariously through their kids,
Right.
and we basically decided a couple of things. One is that we wanted to be a student of our kids, see how God gifted them, what their interests were, and then participate in those interests. So as a result, every year I would coach their softball teams, I would coach their soccer teams, I would be involved in all their school activity and that type of thing as a way of encouraging them.
Mm.
I think the second realization for me is that our children belong to God. They're His kids. We're stewards of them, and we as a result of that, um, we learned really to trust in them as they were trusting in God in their walk, right? And the only time that we didn't trust them is when they gave us reason not to trust them.
Mm,
Our minds always went to wanting to trust them as opposed to being suspicious of what they were doing, and um, they uh, uh, they actually have spoken about that to us over the years. How we created that environment of trust and really help them grow. As far as grandparenting is concerned, um, the biggest challenge for Sue and I um, is we're cognizant, always aware of his boundaries. You
mm,
know, as 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 we interact with our grandkids, we understand that these are not our kids.
right.
They're our children's children, and so we try to be as flexible as possible with our kids. We give them advice only when they ask us for it. We believe in what Jesus says about marriage, um, that a man and woman comes together, and the husband, it says he leaves his father and mother, and clings to his wife, and so we wanted to give our kids every opportunity to have that clinging experience, without without our overdue involvement. So we have a great relationship with our kids and grandkids, and I think that part of that is because we understand what our boundaries are.
Mm, that's huge. That is so huge. It's really, it really takes a lot of wisdom and discernment to know those boundaries and to really set those and to stick by those, because it's very tempting, I'm sure, as somebody who's so wise to want to speak or something like that when maybe it's not yet the right time, or do you do you ever experience that, Len, where maybe you should but not yet?
Oh yeah, all the time. Right.
Okay,
Yeah, all the time. We
awesome.
we of course we see things. We see things going on, but we don't impose ourselves into their situation unless they ask. You know.
Right.
So
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Len, thank you so much. I gained so much just from that brief time that you shared these parenting and grandparenting lessons. And would you take a moment, please, to share maybe one or two business career stories? Because I know a lot of people here know that you're a leader among leaders, and they want to succeed in their entrepreneurial life. They want to succeed as leaders. They want to succeed in their companies. And so would you take just a few moments to share, maybe even if they're not C-level entrepreneurs like yourself, but maybe on a different career path, can you just share some business career stories, please, sir?
sure. Yeah, I think that today I think it's critical for everybody to understand that we're always going to be in a time of transition. The days of having a 25 to 30-year career pretty much over,
Mm,
and we're always in a time of transition, and we need to be reinventing ourselves, and in the process, really allowing God to direct our steps. But I have found in whatever endeavor that I have found myself in, really, it's all about the mission, right? Um, the mission is the focus, and you pretty much let the results take care of themselves. I think if you focus too much on the results, you paralyze yourself.
oh,
You
wow.
you 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 become very myopic,
Mm,
and that was a huge lesson for me back in the early '90s. I was chief operating officer for an aerospace manufacturer, and I was dealing with a CFO who had a very bottom line orientation, right?
right.
And he tended to make us as an executive team very reactive instead of proactive. And I tried to get him to understand that the bottom line was really an historical reading, and the bottom line really was the result of things that happened above the bottom line. if we took care of the things above the bottom line was going to take care of itself.
Mm.
So I've learned I've learned that whatever it is that you find yourself involved in, it truly is about the mission. That's got to be the primary focus. Let the results take care of themselves. And I've learned, even as a spiritual um, lesson and all of that, that particularly where God calls you, where His vision is, that's where His provision is for you. So the provision is going to show up as long as you keep walking in the mission that He's given you. I think secondarily that one of the things that I notice about CEOs and business owners is that they tend to be a product of the last person they talk to.
Mm.
And I don't know if that resonates with anybody, but I find that to be a tremendous weight and burden to carry. CEOs, a CEO job is a lonely job. It can be isolating, and they don't have a lot of most don't have a good network of people to really rely on. So everything is fast paced today. They're in a decision making mode every minute of the day, it
Mm.
seems, and they don't have time to reflect, sit back, and make what they're doing all about the mission. So they're always in either a crisis mode or a decision making mode, and they're relying on the last person they talk to. And I would strongly suggest that that's not a good way to approach whatever it is you're doing. Again, it's all about the mission. I think that secondly or thirdly, that whatever we're involved in, that God created us for excellence,
Mm.
and He wants us. He wants us to be excellent at what we do. So just like we're to be a student of our children, I think we're also supposed to be a student of ourselves.
Good.
Be introspective and self-aware enough to understand that where we fall short in this area of excellence, right? So excellence in business would encompass areas like strategy, skills, systems, staffing, style, management style, structure, shared values. I find that if a CEO works in these 7 areas, focuses on that as in terms of pursuing their mission, and gets good at implementing, chances of success are very high.
Mm. Excellent. Excellent. My goodness, folks, if you didn't catch that, those are 7 huge nuggets right there. And then, of course, Len didn't just share one, but Len shared 3 career and business lessons right there. So thank you so much, Len. Thank you so much. And right now, let's take a few moments to thank our sponsors. Welcome back. You know, Len, I've experienced some redemptive stories in my life. And would you kindly share one redemptive story, either in your personal or professional life, please, sir?
Sure. Yeah, I'd be glad to. I don't know how I can keep it to 7 minutes. That's going to be the challenge.
True.
Or 5 minutes, I guess. But you know, my history, my life really involves a conversion experience that resulted in a huge transformation in my life, and really brought together. Um, when you talk about personal and professional, it really brought my life together, because I had my personal life segregated from my professional life, and always trying to balance and manage things. But I had an import business back in the early 80s, 1981 to about 1985, 86. And at the time, I was divorced. I was separated 4 years, and I was living with another gal, engaged to get married. We were 3 months away from getting remarried, and I'm having this conversation with this gentleman in my office who I hardly knew, and he was 2 weeks away from getting remarried. I'm 3 months away, 2 weeks away, and this guy guy is beaming about his upcoming marriage. And as I'm sitting there listening to him, I'm thinking, all of a sudden I just felt this emptiness over me, right? I'm
Mm.
thinking how complicated life was for me. Um, two families, supporting two families. Uh, I'm thinking that is this second marriage going to end up the way my first marriage did? And all of a sudden my business seemed so burdensome to me, although, it was doing very well. But, um, uh, in that, as a result of that conversation, and it's too long to get into, but I made a commitment to Christ during the course of that conversation, and my life radically changed. In fact, if somebody would have told me 2 seconds before I made the commitment to receive Christ into my life and turn my life over to Him, what these next 31 years were going to look like, I'd have probably told you you're smoking dope or something because it's never going to happen, right? But but as a result, but as a result of that conversion experience, um, my my uh, my life became peaceful. I found significance. I found acceptance. I found wisdom. I found security. I found provision, liberty. Um, I found a restoration that I could never have experienced before that. And over the next 60 days, through a series of circumstances, um, and in reading the Bible every day for really hours every day, and my fiance and I going to a pastor for counseling, it became clear to me during that counseling and some prayer time that God was calling me back to reunite my family. And that was a hard thing, right? Because
Mm.
I was praying to God for an answer to uh, you know our my upcoming marriage, and He was saying, Len, he said, listen, I've got a better plan for you, and I want you to go back and reunite your family.
Mm.
And I decided to do that, in spite of the fact that I didn't even care for this woman too much. Despite the fact I had no idea how it was going to work out, I just felt that that's what He wanted me to do, and so I took the first step, which is how we work, which is how the Holy Spirit works with us, right? He gives us a prompting in our spirit about something, and the Apostle Paul says that's wise counsel, and a wise man draws it out. And as we walk, as we take that first step and second step toward what it is we're sensing, we're feeling in our spirit that He's calling us to do, is when we know what His good, acceptable, perfect gift is. And we ended up actually getting remarried that December 7th of 1981,
Mm.
and reuniting the family. And unbeknownst to me, my wife and kids 4 years earlier had accepted the Lord and were praying for me to return. I'm such a slow learner. It took Christ 4 years to catch up with me,
Mm.
I guess, to make that happen. But I got to tell you that he brings order to an unordered life, and He brings peace to a life that's in turmoil. Um, there's a proverb that reads that there's a way that seems right to a man, but in the end it leads to death. And I was on a path that seemed right to me, but what the Holy Spirit was telling me, He had a better plan for me, and I've learned to appreciate and recognize those promptings in my life. And as I have done that, um, I see one point of redemption after another point of redemption after
Mm.
another point of redemption in my life as I walk with the Lord. So truly this whole focus of redemption um, is a big part of my life, and I believe that God wants us to go from glory to glory. I believe that He's working all things for our good because we love Him and are called to His purposes. And when we listen and obey, some powerful things happen.
Yes, yes. Wow, that is a powerful story where you were you had made plans to get married to this woman, and then you heard God speaking to you to go back and reunite your family and go back to your first wife, and that must have been so hard because you already had all the plans made. I'm sure you probably had some reservations that you already made, and then yet you chose to obey what you had heard God speaking to you. That is so powerful. And then from there, when you chose that, and your wife, your first wife, who's now your current wife, who's your only wife, right? Exactly. She had been praying 4 years earlier with your children, and I think that's just so powerful, Len. Thank you.
Yeah, I think also, Jackie, it goes back to the point that was made earlier about where God's vision is for your life, that's where His provision is, because only He could cause this to work out. There is no way. There's no way that that came from me or my doing.
Mm,
um, where He calls you, what He calls you, provision will always be there. It may not be the way you like it. It may not be in the timing you like it, but He will always show up. He is always faithful to complete what He starts. Yeah.
mm. Indeed. Wow. Thank you very much for sharing and being so open about this incredible redemption story, Len. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, then we are now in our legendary legacy section portion of the show. So, Len, just do you have a picture of your children and grandchildren handy, sir?
Well, I tried locating one, and I was having as much difficulty. Oh, by the way, this is a picture of my dad in the restaurant. This picture was probably taken in 1958, maybe 60, somewhere around
Wow.
there. And that's an actual business card from his restaurant on Capitol Hill.
Mm.
It was right across the street from the Library of Congress.
Oh
But
my goodness.
so this picture here is my wife and I and our 4 kids. This
Mm.
was taken. This was taken about a month ago in Sun River, where we had a family reunion. We had 46 people there in the family
Wow.
reunion, right? And so I don't have a picture of my grandkids, but this is one of my youngest one who just entered preschool this year.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Thank
our grandkids run from age 17 now down to almost 3.5, 4. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, then, picture this decades and decades from today. Imagine you're on your deathbed and you have 5 more minutes with your children, your relatives, grandkids, and friends gathered around your bed. What final words from all of your years of experience, what final words would you say to them? And advice, what kind of advice would you give them on how they can live their lives and leave a legendary legacy?
So um, that was an interesting question when I got that, Jackie, and I had not done that, and I really appreciate you challenging me on this. And the letter is way too long. I'm going to share some concepts, however,
Hmm.
if you don't mind.
Not at all.
But I think I think the important thing is that a couple of things that guide me here. And I had a friend of mine, Rita Maywell, tell me one time that inheritance are things you leave for family, but legacy is what you impart, right?
Hmm.
And I, I I like to think that I'm leaving my family as a legacy to the world, and not money as an inheritance to them, right?
Right, right.
So um, I think that in the closing minutes of my life, if I'm so blessed to be on a uh, in an environment where I have all the family around me, I would be speaking to them in terms of just rejoicing, not being sad, but rejoicing in the fact that I'm about ready to step from this earthly world into heaven,
Mm.
and looking forward to being with them at some point once again. And for me, I know that heaven and hell are reality. And I'm confident that as I pass uh, on out of this decaying body, that I'm even now being ushered into the presence of God. I just have a real sense of making the reality of passing on a reality, and making it so that it's just natural. It's just a natural part of life. It's not a catastrophe, but it's something that should be celebrated. And to tell them that I know without a doubt that I'll be with him throughout eternity. I know this for certain because I surrendered my life to Christ, and I trust in his finished work on the cross. And I believe what Jesus says. He says, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life, and no one comes to the Father except through me. And I see myself having a time uh, of just recounting experiences, perhaps one person at a time, especially with my wife Sue, about what we've experienced, and how it's impacted not only our lives and the lives of our family, but also those around us. And probably none of us really know how we impact other people. We're not going to know that until the other side of glory.
Right.
Um, and I do think that what I want to do is to encourage them, and to celebrate the time that we had together, and to really focus on each individual person, and really kind of share something that was unique to our individual relationship, and to really challenge them now, um, to live a life. Somebody said at some point in time that it's important to preach the gospel, and sometimes we should use words, right? That our life should be the gospel,
Yes.
right? That we should be that we should be leading an example, that we should be a living example of who Christ is. And there's no better way of being an example of who Christ is than to love others and to give of ourselves to others.
Mm, beautiful. Fantastic. Thank you, Len. That is just such a priceless time. And thank you for sharing the guiding posts that you would be sharing. And how wonderful it is that you're going to speak to them individually and recalling and recounting memories with them, and also just speaking to them and encouraging them in the specific way that you believe will really influence them from there on end. So thank you, Len. Well, folks, we are now in the legacy sprint. I'm going to ask Len questions that Len will be answering in 15 seconds or less. Len, are you ready, sir? All righty. What is one reason people fail getting close to their kids as they grow up? Too busy. Oh, got it. And what is one action you take daily that brings you to your present career and business goals? Len, I can't hear you. Maybe your phone is a bit far from you. So if you don't mind just speaking to your phone, go ahead. Walking with God, awesome. And what are your top three favorite books? I know you probably have a lot, but maybe some that you're currently are your favorite books.
So I'm not much on novels or
No,
nonfiction,
no,
right?
no. Yeah.
But for all aspects of life, of course, survival, right? For all
Yes.
aspects. For business, my new favorite right now is The Year with Peter Drucker by Joseph Macarelli, and it's an amazing, and I would encourage everybody to get it. It's The Year with Peter Drucker.
Mm,
And for politics, there's a book called Original Intent by a gentleman by the name of David Martin. He's got a out of Texas called Builders, and he's about rebuilding here in America, rebuilding our society, rebuilding our foundation.
got it. Excellent.
Those three books would be the ones: the Bible, everyday life.
Got it. Now, I think I'm getting a little bit of a, I have the volume up. So anyway, so I love David Barton. I love his work. And Folks, if you don't know who David Barton is, just type in on Google David David, and then Barton Barton. And he even has, I believe he had, I'm not sure if he still has them, but he has personal tours. If you want to be in the, if you want to go to the Washington D.C. area and where our heritage, was built and founded, he will take you on tours and let you get another story, from the founding fathers, what really it was like, and how there were documents that came about, and the history behind that. And it might be politically incorrect to some, but I like it. So awesome. So Len, what is your favorite vacation spot?
Anywhere there's
Great. Anywhere there that there's family and sunshine. Favorite hobbies or leisure activities, please?
being in church.
Awesome. Spending time with family, being with his church community, and golfing. Awesome. And do you have a favorite quote, Len?
Yeah, in a scripture verse where God will receive only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. I think, for me, it's not so much about being close eternally,
Len, excuse me. I'm not getting a sound, hardly. Is your speaker? Are you speaking through the microphone on your phone, sir?
yeah.
Okay, good. There, that's better. That's better.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So my favorite quote, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. And it just speaks of hope, right?
Mm, definitely, definitely. Awesome. And I am so glad it's time to promote you now, Lynn. So what would you like to promote, and how can people get in touch with you? What is your email address that folks can get in touch with you, please?
So my email address is Len Len dot Di Giovanni Digiovanni at convenenow.com.
Wonderful. And when folks get in touch with you, would you like to maybe give them something that maybe they can act upon, or something that you'd like to offer to them when they reach out to you, sir?
Yes. In fact, I would like to offer uh, um, coaching sessions at a reduced price for client for people that would want to get in touch with me. Right. I can put a package deal together. I'm very flexible in terms of my coaching, and my coaching is designed to fit the client's needs. It's designed to fit the client's time, and so I'm just open to any arrangement. Some clients I coach 3 times a month, sometimes one time a month, sometimes for a half hour, sometimes for an hour and a half each session. It just depends on what the need is. So I would encourage you to get in touch with me. I do have a. Can, is that? Can you see that?
Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Len Di Giovanni, trusted business advisor. And I also have that email address. It's len.digiovanni at convenenow.com. And I'm going to put it on my camera because I also typed it. I also wrote it down. It's right here. Len Di Giovanni at convenenow.com. Convene Now is CONVENE now.com. So please reach out to Len, and he is going to give you a coaching session, and he'll be more than happy to work with you. And I want to leave you all with a legacy quotation. This is from Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. That's by Maya Angelou. So thank you so much for joining us today for today's episode of the 21st Century Legacy Letters Show. I look forward to being with you again next week live. And as I always love to encourage you, please live a life of significance and leave your legendary legacy. Thank you. Awesome. Well, let me play the video, and then we are going to be we're going to ask questions. Just a second, just a second. Welcome back. Now we are in the Q&A portion of this episode. One of the questions that came in was, what is your worldview? So Len, I'm going to put this phone by the microphone so that folks who want to know your worldview can find out, what is your worldview, Len? Please, I'm going to put you on the big screen.
That's no problem. So I have a biblical worldview. I believe that the universe was created by God. I believe in the Genesis account. I believe that Jesus Christ came to die, to pay the price for our sins, a debt that we could no longer pay, that we could not pay, and that those that believe in him shall have eternal life. I believe that Jesus, when he says of himself, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life, no one comes to the Father except through me. I believe him. I believe what he says. So my worldview is a Christ-centered worldview.
Wow, fantastic. Awesome. Thank you. So anyone who wants to come into the webinar room, please just say, I want to come into the webinar room. Or if you'd like to just type in your question, I want to respect Len's time. So type in your question on the chat room and we can ask that of Len. And in the meantime, I'm going to pop up Len's offer to you all today who have stuck to the very end. Len Di Giovanni's cool bonus. And here we go. It's how to become an exemplary leader. And click on that orange button that says claim my copy now. I want to glean from Len Di Giovanni's wisdom. And it's a white paper with really practical, very, very actionable steps on how to become an exemplary leader. So please download that now, and I'm going to see if anybody would like to come in. And if you have any questions, please, please, please type that into the chat room right now. And I'd love for you to come in if you'd like to come in live. Okay, now people have asked, okay, what is available? Oh, there we go. I'm gonna, all right. What is available with joining the 21st Century Legacy Letters with Jackie Mori Facebook community? Well, we're going to start a book club in September. So I already made that announcement. So the book for this coming month is Daring Greatly. So we're going to tackle this book because, you know, folks say, I'm going to read, you know, whatever, however many books, 10, 20 books in 2016. Well, this is an accountability group where you can actually come join us as we go through a book together. Okay. All right. So then, so if you don't mind, I'm going to pop up the book. I'm going to remove Len's offer for just a few moments, and I want to show you the book that we are tackling. So if you want to join us, please get your book right now. And this is going to be the Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. If you want to transform how you live, how you love, how you parent, and how you lead, Daring Greatly is the book to get. And we are going to do a weekly meeting. It's just going to be 30 minutes. That way we're accountable to each other about how, if we're making progress with the book. And this is not a let's just read it just for the sake of reading. No, we want to make sure that we have some takeaways to share with each other. All right. Well, then Dr. Becky is in the room. Dr. Becky, I'm going to put you on the big screen if you don't mind. Maybe posing your question to Len. Welcome, Dr. Becky, and congratulations on winning the first prize in the Epic contest. Hi, Dr. Becky.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can, and I see Gary. Hi, Gary. Hi, Dr. Becky.
Hi,
Good to be
how
with
are
you. Awesome. Okay, Dr. Becky, you have a question for Len?
Yeah. Hi, Len. I have a question in regards to when you're invited to national, even world platforms, and these folks are very broken, but they have a sphere of influence that's out there in a great way. How would you suggest, or any ways as how to navigate, work with them when they're actually spearheading and doing the whole thing? Any good ideas to help me?
Well, I think Becky, one thing that I've always is that curiosity builds connection, and I always try to place myself in a position of being curious about the other person, because when you ask them questions as opposed to giving them statements, it actually builds connections. And I wouldn't try to do too much at one time. In a relationship.
Okay, I'm not hearing it.
Your speaker on.
I'm not exactly sure what the forum might be or the venue might be, but again, curiosity builds connection. Just be curious about them. Find out where their pain points are, so that at the appropriate time, with the leading of the Holy Spirit, that you can address those pain points in their life. Does that make sense?
Did you hear that, Dr. Becky?
Just barely. I'm sorry, Len, I'm trying here.
No problem.
Jackie, can you kind of give me a little bit? Gary and I are just hearing little bits of it.
Sure, sure.
I've got my speaker turned all the way up.
Sure. Len, let me just make sure that I got you right. Len said, be curious, because curiosity builds connection. And he's found that when we are curious and asking them questions as opposed to making statements, it builds that connection with them. And then from there, you can address the pain points that they might have. Did I do that correctly, Len?
That's sensational. Were you taking dictation?
I wasn't taking. I was taking copious notes in my mind. So to address the pain points, we need to be in a posture of curiosity.
Yeah. Okay. That's very good.
Awesome. Great. Len, let's see here. I have a question for you. Let's see here. Can you tell us maybe the pathway from when you first graduated to when you got into the CEO role of the aerospace company? So what was your pathway? That way, even if it's not, just maybe some breadcrumbs, that way we kind of know, how do you get from newly graduated to CEO of a company, if you don't mind, please, sir. That's my question.
Yeah, that's an interesting question, because I found that there's really no formula, right?
Right, exactly.
Except pay attention to operating with excellence. Pay attention to how you're interacting with other people, right? And givers gain. I found that in my career, that givers gain. If you're a giver, you're going to gain.
Yes.
You're going to gain favor. You're going to gain financial benefit. You're going to gain connections. There's so much that's available if you just put yourself in a position of giving and not getting, right? So I focused in my career, even before my conversion to Christ, I knew enough to operate with the spirit of excellence. And I learned that from my dad. Really, that just came from my dad. So I would suggest that you focus on being excellent at whatever you do, and be a giver, and just master those two things, and it'll take you far.
How well said that is, because I really believe in that. Wow, generosity, we cannot outgive, and it is better to give than to receive. And as you've said, Len, be excellent, number one, and number two, be very generous with our time. People think that it's just money that we can give. It is totally not. We can give of our time. We can give of our, we can give into a relationship. And so, like we're doing it and pay it forward. We're sowing in. We're sowing and affirming people. We are sowing encouragement. We are sowing in appreciation for a leader or a coach or a parent or anybody, somebody who's influenced you or impacted your life. So I'm so thankful for you sharing that, Len.
I think the other thing to keep in mind is never compromise your principles. And regardless of what you think people are thinking, I can't tell you how much they appreciate that. If you're operating with integrity, people today are looking for people with integrity.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Amen to that. Wow. Awesome. Len, thank you very, very much. I totally believe in that. And, you know, Dr. Becky and I have, we've had conversations before, and really, we really appreciate people of integrity, and we want to model integrity as well. And it is something that we choose every day. So thank you, thank you, thank you for reminding us that that is of absolute importance because as we've seen in the Olympics, that Olympic swimmer, what a sad story, Lochte. He lied. And just those few statements of lying cost him so much. He lost four huge sponsors just from lying. And so integrity to me is of utter necessity. So Len, huge, huge lesson that you're sharing.
And it speaks also to legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Really think about leaving. Think about integrity as leaving a legacy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Amen to that. Awesome. Well, I'm going to give you the final word, Len, before we go. And I want to offer one more thing to everyone who's watching on the replay. I want you to please join the 21st Century Legacy Letters group. And so I'd love for you to be a part of our Facebook community because inside the community, here's what you can get. And I know Dr. Becky can attest to this. We're going to start our book club very soon. We start on September 8th, a Thursday, and we're going to announce the time shortly. We're going to do a vision board because without vision, people perish. And people, surprisingly, I mean, I've also done this where I don't update my goals quarterly, and some people encourage us to do that. Well, like, what are our next quarter's goals, whether personally or whether it's in the business or whether it's, you know, how many folks that we want to reach. So we're going to do a vision board. And then there's Facebook group accountability. There's a lot of interaction that goes on. We have Massive Action Mondays. We have Pay It Forward Storytelling Tuesdays. We have the live show on Wednesdays, and we have the new Pay It Forward Challenge on Wednesdays. Thursdays, we're going to have the virtual book club meetings, and then Fridays are called Finish Up Fridays, where we share our wins, share some failures and the stories, I mean, the lessons that we gained from that. So there's a lot going on, and that's going to be happening from here on in inside the Facebook group and the Facebook community. So please join the 21st Century Legacy Letters with Jackie Mori Facebook group because I'd love to interact with you there. And I know that influencers like Dr. Becky and who else is in there? Jeffrey Watts is in there. Dr. Jessica Vera is in there. So please, please join our group. And I am very aware of internet trolls, and I do not invite everyone to be in this group. So those of you who have watched the episode, you're invited to join this Facebook community group. And as I've said, we're going to be doing a lot of things moving forward: the book club, the vision board, accountability, and the Pay It Forward Challenge. So anyway, I'm going to give Len the final word, and then I'm going to pop back up your offer while you're on the big screen, sir. So thank you so much for being with us. Go ahead, sir.
Well, I just like to say that everyone leaves a legacy whether they plan it or not. Everything we say or do leaves an imprint on the lives of those around us. As long as there's breath in my body, there's an opportunity to have a rich legacy of righteousness, peace, and joy, leading to hope in the Holy Spirit. So it's never too late to start your legacy list today and begin to live in the fullness that God created you to experience. And I love a quote by Billy Graham. He said that we are not cisterns made for hoarding, we are channels made for sharing, right? That's a great legacy.
Indeed, indeed. Wow, I'm going to have to create a meme with that quote from Billy Graham. Thank you very, very much. So thank you so much for joining us, folks. What an honor to be with you. And tune in again live next week. Our guest next week is Pete Gaffart Show. And I'm going to send out on the Facebook community and tell you a little bit more about Pete. That way you can prepare your world-class questions. Thank you for joining us. Len, thank you so much. What an honor to be with you today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What a joy. Thank you so much for being with us today and for your wisdom that you imparted, the life lessons, all the different wisdom keys and strategies that you shared with us today. Thank you so much, Len. Dr. Becky, thank you for being with us. Congratulations on winning the first prize in the Epic contest. Really appreciate you. And folks, thanks again, and look forward to being with you again next week. Again, live a life of significance and leave your legendary legacy. Goodbye, everyone.